So I have a brief history lesson and something to share with y'all today. I am standing outside the home of Ida B. Wells-Barnett. She moved into this home in 1919 and lived here until her death. She attended several HBCUs. She attended Frisk College in Nashville, Lamont Owen College in Memphis, and she attended Rusk College in Holly Springs, and that's where she graduated from. She had a dream of becoming a school teacher, and she pursued that dream in Memphis. I believe she started teaching in a small town outside of Memphis because if I'm not mistaken, she sued the state of Tennessee because the train staff made her get up from her seat. I believe she was sitting like on the front of the train, and they made her get up from her seat and move to the back so someone else can sit there. She won that case, but it was later revoked. She eventually secured a teaching job in Memphis City Schools, and she was very critical of that school district. Her criticism got her fired, and this is where her career started as a journalist. She later became a co-owner for the Memphis Free Speech and Headlight newspaper. She wrote about many things, but she mainly spoke out against the lynchings that were occurring throughout the South. One of her top stories that got her booted out of Memphis was the lynching of Thomas Moss, the owner of People's Grocery Store, a black-owned grocery store in Memphis. Thomas Moss was a friend of Ida B. Wells. And his lynching basically took place because of jealousy, because his store was very profitable. Tensions boiled over when a young black boy and a young white boy got into it in a marble fight outside of the grocery store. The father of the young white boy stepped in and started beating on the young black boy. Two of Thomas Moss' workers stepped in and defended the young black boy. Later on, a mob was formed and the mob stormed the store. And Thomas Moss defended his property, and him and his crew shot off several shots and injured several white men. They were jailed for their actions. And later, a large crowd, 75 white men, I believe, gathered outside the Shelby County Jail and rushed in and got them. And they were lynched. So Ida B. Wells became infuriated by that, and she wrote about it. And that little piece that she wrote had some power because they took her as a threat. While she was out of town, I believe in Oklahoma, a mob gathered together and burnt down her newspaper company. It was good that she was out of town because they would have killed her. So she made her way here to Chicago in 1893. And she did not let that stop her, what happened in Memphis. She continued to write. And her advocacy for anti-lynching, it became stronger. One of her greatest works was saving the lives of 12 black men in Elaine, Arkansas during Red Summer of 1919. Her advocacy definitely came in clutch for them because their lives were spared. She advocated for them and spoke out against what they were doing to them because they was wrongfully rounded up. A legend has it that she visited them at a jailhouse and she prayed with them and read to them the parable in the Bible about Paul and Silas. And the next day, allegedly, they were free. So if you're ever in Chicago, come visit this home and research her. Research Ida B. Wells-Barnett because, child, baby, sister was divinely protected for her works. And an odd fact on the day of her death, the day that she died was the day that the Scottsboro boys down in Alabama were lynched.